At Carolina Natural Resource Group, we help others invest in underground real estate. Our oil and natural gas acquisitions provide investors an opportunity to make fantastic rates of return, often in their retirement accounts, without the volatility of Wall Street. At the same time, they acquire a tangible asset with monthly cash flow that can be passed down and build wealth for generations. Many of the clients that invest with us frequently ask how they can reduce their tax bill in the oil and gas space. We decided to fly to Houston to meet with Tanner, an exploration geologist, to shake his hand, learn about his process, and test the waters with our own money.
I'm an independent exploration geologist. In my approach, you try to find oil in areas that's already been found. So I identify prospects. So I find oil that's been left behind in the ground by companies that were searching for it in the past. I know that this well, and this well has made, say, 1 million barrels in a given area. And I know to drill to the depth of those wells, but all the evaluation techniques, logging, coring, remaps, you have a mud log that's catching samples on the way down, you try to catch oil, and then it's a general feeling as well as the last step of just there's some arm-waving artistic art form to all this, and we go and drill the wells.
Working interest is when you invest directly in an oil or natural gas well. If the well produces, you'll earn your proportionate share of the income minus expenses. The associated tax deductions make the opportunity very attractive on a risk-reward basis.
It smells strong of oil, money.
Oh yeah.
Generally, each investor will be able to deduct about 75% of the total investment in the year the well is drilled. The remaining 25% of the investment can be deducted over a 7-year period. Essentially, the investment cost is entirely tax deductible.
It's probably the best tax benefit, I would say, in the US, better than real estate when the wells work, because 100% of what you put into an oil and gas well is a tax deduction. And then 85% of what comes out of the ground is taxed, and 15% of what comes out of the ground is not taxed via what's called the small producers allowance or the depletion allowance. So,
Right. So the well you're getting ready to drill that we're investing in, at the end of the month,
yes,
75% of our investment is going to be deducted in the 2024 tax return.
that's correct. And that's a function of a decades-old federal tax incentive called intangible drilling costs. And that's all tax deductible within the year in which that was incurred. So if you spend, say, 100 grand, 75 of it, roughly, will be deductible from your income. So if you made $300,000 this year, now in the eyes of the government, you made $225,000.
Right.
And then the other, say you put that 100,000 in, so you wrote 75 of it off, there's 25 left over that goes towards what's called tangibles. They take that other $25,000 in this example. You can do a straight line depreciation, divide it by 7, and take that deduction every year. So you're essentially getting...
Including this year.
Including this year. So if you're a 9-to-5 employee, you can deduct this from your income. If you're a stock investor, you can deduct this from your gains. And the way my mentors function, they have 50 to 100 wells each, pay them every month, they own different proportions of each one. They haven't paid taxes in, I don't know how long, years, because they're able to everything that they make, they roll back into business expenses, buying leases, investing in oil deals.
So somebody puts in 100 grand and they're at a 40% tax bracket, 75,000 is an immediate year one deduction. But the other 25,000 is a write-off over 7 years.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So, what's the risk? Well, the well might not work out, and this is why Tanner suggests investing in multiple wells to spread the risk.
I spread the risk among wells, and I know there's an X amount of hit rate, so spreading your risk among that, it's the same as diversifying in any other asset class. You have wells that might pay out in 10 months, you have wells that might pay out in 14 months, or you might have wells that might pay out in 16 months.
The payout is just to get the investment back.
Correct. And if you can get your money back in 10 months, you're already whole again. So, so you can go take that money and do whatever else you were doing with it before. If that's a CD of your bank because you're worried about the money, then great. And if it's the next oil deal, then great. Or if you want to roll it back into wherever it was before, that's fine too. And then the wells can produce, I'd say that, yes, the down dip well on this map produced for 26 years. That to me is the exciting part. You're no longer trading hours for money. You're trading your money for more money is the idea. So your time is no longer tied to your income. You now have all these little wells that are working for you as cash producing assets.